Hi Brolies, Marvin here from TechBeerroll.com where we do unboxings, reviews, and sexy B-rolls. And today we're back at it with PC components as we check out the latest Aorus Z590 Master Motherboard. In today's video, we're going to unbox it and do a quick overview so that you can have a first look and get an idea what you're getting in terms of the package contents, components, and its features. This motherboard actually packs a ton of features, especially when it comes to input and output ports, power delivery, storage options, and basically any feature anyone is looking for on an enthusiast level motherboard. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, so right here we have the packaging for the Aorus Z590 Master Motherboard, and this is compatible with the latest 11th and 10th Gen Intel Core series processors. So as you can tell, Intel has decided to stick with the socket LGA1200 for the new Z590 motherboards while still offering quite a few upgrades. One notable difference of the Z590 chipset compared to the old Z490 is the native PCIe 4.0 support, but that is when using a Rocket Lake processor. Essentially, this means that you can now take advantage of extremely fast PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSDs, and aside from that, we're getting larger bandwidth for storage, especially with native support for USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 with up to 20GB per second transfer speeds, and more bandwidth for M.2 SSDs as well, which this board actually has 3. Now, flipping the box at the back, we have the key specifications right here, an image preview of the motherboard, the back panel I/O, and all the key features that we're going to tackle later. So, let's just see what comes in the package. Now, with an enthusiast level motherboard and just a tier below the Aorus Z590 Extreme, we should expect a bunch of accessories here. So upon opening the box, the first thing you'll notice is the Aorus Z590 Master Motherboard itself, nicely protected by an anti-static bag, and it also has its own platform protected by foam. Removing that reveals the rest of the package contents, including this fair amount of Aorus stickers, which is a nice touch if you're a huge fan. And then after that, we have a multilingual installation guide, an app installation guide, and the most important user manual with lots of valuable information that no one should neglect when building around this motherboard. So you won't get yourself posting on social media groups first, not knowing you have everything here. And lastly, before we take a peek underneath the cover, we have an Aorus badge right here with a 3M adhesive if you want to brag about your Aorus powered system. Okay, so removing this cover reveals the rest of the accessories, most of which are cables. So we have some screws for the M.2 slots, again we have 3 on this motherboard, and then we have the quite nifty front panel connector guide, which I always appreciate from Aorus. This is actually very useful than we actually think. We also have here the external Wi-Fi antenna that has a magnetic base for the Wi-Fi 6 connectivity. Aside from that, we have some SATA cables, both with straight and angled plugs, and we also have a couple of temperature probes and a microphone, which you otherwise won't have with some budget boards out in the market. And lastly, we have an RGB extension cable right here. Alright, so with the unboxing experience out of the way, let's finally take a look at the Aorus Z590 Master Motherboard. But before that, actually, a quick word from our sponsor. This portion of the video is sponsored by VIP SCD Key. VIP SCD Key is an online web store that offers software keys and game keys in a very competitive price and without the hassle of going to a physical store. One of the most frequently used software keys is none other than the Windows 10 key, and you can get a legit one from VIP SCD Key for only $20. But since you're awesome, you can also use my code SKTBR to get an additional 18% off and get it for only $16 or around 800 pesos. You can purchase using your Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, and more. And as you can see, I actually purchased one for my build, and once completed, you can now activate your license by going to activation settings in Windows, click change product key, enter license, and click activate. And that's about it, pretty straightforward, right? So check the link below and don't forget to use my code for an extra discount. Thanks to VIP SCD Key for sponsoring this part of the video. Now, back to our review. Now, at first look and touch, the first thing that strikes me the most is the sheer weight and robust build quality of this motherboard. Like, it's super heavy that it's kinda hard to pick this up using just one hand. And most of that weight is from the massive heatsinks and the metal backplate. And right off the bat, I can definitely appreciate this sort of muted design with a combination of black and gray colors. I can also see here a bunch of reinforcements for the memory slots and PCIe slots that you otherwise won't see on budget boards. So in terms of first impressions, the Aorus Z590 Master does a good job here. Now let's do a quick parts overview and take a look at the rest of the components here. So right here we have the massive shroud, which is made mostly out of plastic with an acrylic cover, and I believe we also have some illumination here. I feel like the addition of acrylic material here adds a bit of uniqueness to this motherboard. Now right here we have the so-called FINS RA2, which is essentially the heat sinks for the MOSFETs, and as you can tell, it has this black colorway, which is actually a nanocarbon coating that as per specifications ideally makes the MOSFETs 10% cooler. Underneath this heatsink, we also have the larger 8mm direct touch heat pipe 2 with a narrower gap between the pipe and the heatsink for a more efficient heat transfer. We also have high quality chokes and capacitors here for the entirety of the VRMs. Now speaking of the VRMs, underneath the plastic shroud, we actually have a small fan actively cooling the VRMs, and I verified that looking from the sides. Now while we're here, let's discuss about the power delivery. In terms of power design, this motherboard features 18-phase 90A smart power stages, and the power delivery starts with a digital PWM controller, then goes to a series of doublers, and then to the 18 power stages and into the additional tantalum polymer capacitors array to improve stability, especially during idle to load transition. And aside from the substantial power delivery design, we also have a dual 8-pin CPU power connector with metal shielding and solid pins for a more efficient power delivery that ideally can support extreme overclocking if you're into that. Now let's move around the motherboard counterclockwise, starting with the audio components. This motherboard actually has a built-in DAC with an ESS Sabre reference and uses the Realtek ALC1220 codec. It is also Hi-Res audio certified with DTS-X Ultra support. Now right here we have the front panel audio header, and then we have two BIOS switches here, one for the main BIOS and backup BIOS, and the other one for the dual or single BIOS options. These are quite essential, especially for overclocking. Besides these switches, we have a 3-pin addressable RGB header and a 4-pin RGB header. We also have a TPM header here, two USB 2.0 headers, a noise sensor header, a tactile reset switch, and 3 system fan headers right here. We also have here our front panel headers with a slot for the front panel guide. And lastly, here at the bottom, we have 4 status LEDs for troubleshooting. Now moving towards the right side, we have 2 Thunderbolt headers, a 5-pin and a 3-pin header. And then right here, we have 6 SATA ports that support RAID 0, 1, 5, and 10. Next, we have a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C front panel header and 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 headers. We also have 1 system fan header here and the reinforced 24-pin motherboard power connector right here. Now moving towards the top side, we have a 2-character debug LED right here and a physical power button. We also have a couple of RGB headers, 1 3-pin addressable RGB header, and 1 4-pin RGB header. Besides that, we have 2 system fan headers, 1 CPU fan header, and 1 CPU opt header. Moving towards the other corner, we have the dual 8-pin power connector and another fan header hidden beside it. Alright, so moving towards the center and the rest of the components here, like I said earlier, this new Z590 motherboard retains the LGA1200 socket, which is also compatible with the 10th gen Intel Core processors. But of course, some of the latest technologies this new chipset offers are only available when you use the latest 11th gen Rocket Lake processors. Now, what I like about this motherboard is the outstanding build quality, and you can definitely see that here with tons of steel reinforcements for both the memory slots and the PCIe slots. Now, this motherboard technically supports up to 5000 MHz frequency, but even with an 11th gen processor, memory support is only up to 3200 MHz, so more than that can be considered as overclocking. These can support up to a total of 128GB of memory. Now, right here we have our PCIe slots and M.2 slots, and we have 3 for each interface. So we have a dedicated heatsink for the main M.2 slot, and an integrated heatsink for the other 2, as well as another heatsink for the chipset itself, with an illuminated Aorus Falcon logo. The first and second PCIe slots are PCIe 4.0, with the first one running at X16, and the second one running at X8. The third and last one is from the chipset and runs at PCIe 3.0 X4. As for the M.2 slots, the first one supports PCIe 4.0 X4, while the second and third slot support both SATA and PCIe 3.0 X4. Now, I'll pop on the screen which ports get disabled when a certain slot is being used. Now, one thing that I appreciate with what Aorus has done here is that they've actually added a dual thermal pad design on the M.2 slots, which means if you use an M.2 SSD with memory modules on both sides, both will be covered with a thermal pad, which is a nice added bonus. And like I said, the quite heavy weight of this motherboard comes from the thick and massive heatsinks, as you can see here. Build quality is definitely one of the strong points of this motherboard, aside from the wide arsenal of features baked in. Now, flipping it on the back side, you'll get a better understanding of what I'm talking about, with this massive backplate that ultimately adds to the build quality and rigidity of this motherboard. This may help when you install heavy CPU coolers and massive graphics cards. And lastly, let's flip this on the side and talk about the input and output ports, which this motherboard has a generous amount. First, we have a couple of dedicated buttons. We have a clear CMOS button and a Q-Flash button for flashing the BIOS without a CPU. These additional features, partnered with the 4 LED status display and the 2-character debug LED, makes this motherboard ideal for overclocking and even for a test bench with a dedicated power button, not to mention a pretty decent power delivery. Now, going back to the back panel, we have the antenna connectors for the Wi-Fi 6 connectivity. We have 4 USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports and 5 USB 3.2 Gen 2 ports and 1 USB 3.2 Gen 2x2 Type-C port, which, as I pointed out earlier, is one of the benefits of this new Z590 chipset. We also have a DisplayPort 1.2 for integrated graphics, an Aquantia 10GB Ethernet, and 5 gold-plated audio jacks with an optical SPDIF out port. So overall, input and output port-wise, we have a fair amount here at the back panel, especially with a good combination of USB 3.2 Gen 1 and Gen 2 ports partnered with a fast USB Type-C port. And we're not lacking in terms of fan headers and RGB headers either, with a total of 10 fan headers and 4 RGB headers. So I guess the main takeaway from this video, performance and benchmarks aside, we have an enthusiast level motherboard right here with the Aorus Z590 motherboard that has pretty much anything that I'm looking for on a board at this price point. It has an outstanding build quality with tons of reinforcements, massive heatsinks, and robust backplate, while also providing, at least on paper, a pretty good power delivery design. And it also has a bunch of features that will definitely help with troubleshooting, especially when overclocking, and needlessly to say, a quite substantial amount of headers and input and output ports, more than we typically use on a regular basis. Now, I honestly can't promise you a build video for this because as of the moment, I don't have any Intel processor, not to mention an 11th gen processor and the rest of the needed components for a build. But I do hope you got a thing or two from this unboxing and overview. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Aorus for sending this in. You can get this from the links below. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you like this, and see you next time. Have a great day guys, you're awesome.